I want to share a conversation I had today with a friend of mine who recently lost her young son. Recently and unexpectedly lost her young son. She was telling me that, now remember, it was unexpected, but that the phone rang. And she said when the phone rang, she just instantly knew something had happened to him. Now, it was completely unexpected. It was obviously like a wreck. But she knew when that phone rang that something had happened to him. And then she said she had a peace come over her. So, remember, she's talking to me, and I totally believe everything that she said because I've experienced similar situation. When my son was at war, they were gone for about 3 weeks. And there was one day I knew something was wrong. My kids were trying to do everything possible with me to keep me busy. And I just knew. I was like, no, something is really, really wrong. Something's really wrong. And when we got back to where I had phone service, the phone rang, and it was my son's Marine bunkmate of 3.5 years' mother. So it was my son's best friend's mother. And she said, "How is your son?" And I said, I don't know. Why? And she says, because my son has died. And she was sitting with the officers when she called me. And I just knew something bad was going on. I knew it. Us mothers, I tell you what, I don't think we just have connections to our sons. I think we have connections to our children. But I'm going to go on a limb and say, I think we're all connected. We're all connected. I know for a fact I can feel people's energy when I walk in a room, when I meet somebody. I know for a fact. But my son was 1,000,000 miles away, and I felt his pain all day. I knew something wasn't right. And I was right. And my friend was telling me when her son died and the phone rang, she had no clue. But she just knew when that phone rang it was going to be bad news about her son. And then she had a peace come over her. So you can believe we're connected or not connected, but I know we're connected. We are all connected. So be good to one another. Be good to one another. Because if we're all connected, if you're good to one another, you're being good to yourself. God bless. Like, share, and follow.